Burn one. Yo, slow budget. Once again. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Today's date is August 4th, 2023, and it is a Friday. TGIF to everybody out there. Hope you guys got a lot of good stuff planned this weekend. I want to start off by giving a birthday shout out to my brother Efren. I know he's a listener. I just want to say happy birthday, brother. I love you. For those who don't know, I remember a lot of people didn't even know I had a brother when I moved out here to Arizona. They didn't even know we were brothers. They were just like, "How'd you get out here?" And I was telling them, "Oh, my brother lives here." And they were like, "Who's your brother?" I'm like, "Oh, Efren." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that was your brother." I want to thank everyone for all the feedback on my last show. I thought it was one of my best ones ever. And a lot of people agreed, and I did. I did so much. I don't know. I was just so worked up at the last show. I think I cussed more on my last show than I did on the 81 previous shows combined. But I had a lot to get worked up about. That U.S. soccer team, I'm telling you, just pissed me off. And I got the names of the three women that do put their hands over their heart and sing proudly. And I wasn't surprised. Top of the list, Alex Morgan. She is so cool, so beautiful. Julie Ertz, who is the wife of Zach Ertz, the football player, and Lindsay Horan. Those three, I did not want to put you in with the mix of those other chicks that were disrespecting the USA and not wanting to put their hands over their heart and sing the national anthem. And as soon as I saw the list and I saw Alex Morgan's name, I just knew it. She's like I said, she's just incredible. I remember it was the last World Cup. It was right before 4th of July. We were playing England and she scored a goal and did a tea sipping thing. And I remember the memes were flying. You may be cool, but you'll never be Alex Morgan cool doing a tea drinking celebration after scoring against England right before the 4th of July. Yeah, that's just incredible. And the memes are going around. England was saying it was a declaration of war and they weren't happy. Oh, wow. Get over it. We beat your asses in soccer. We beat your asses at war. Quick shout out to those three women making the U.S. proud. And them other bitches, like I said, from the bottom of my heart, fuck all y'all. And then I hear that the coaches too aren't so, man. That's the thing. Fuck them coaches. You know what I mean? I don't care. I haven't watched one World Cup women's game, even though I love backing up my country. But if the players aren't going to do it, why should I? While I'm doing shout outs, this is an overdue one. Want to give a shout out to Jennifer from Dollar General here. I think me and Corey went in. It was a few weeks ago, and I think I rang up like $10 in groceries, and I left my wallet at the shop, and I was like, "Oh, I'll be right back." She's like, "You know what? I got it. Don't worry about it." I was like, "No, no, no. I'll just run to the shop, get my wallet." And she was like, "No, no. You know what? You do so much for the community, so much for the kids. I got this. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me back." And I just thought that was cool, and I never gave her a shout out. And another shout out while I'm on it to Pat Corona. She's one of my loyal listeners. She tells me she's been listening for a while and still listens. She got a fire stick from the other day. So when I was programming for her, she was telling me about my podcast. I was like, "Oh, cool, you listen, nice." So I just thought that was real cool. So a couple little shout outs. And then a couple of things I've been seeing lately in the news, whatever. Funniest one. Have you guys seen the thief that was robbing a 7-Eleven for cigarettes, and then the guys beat the shit out of him? I mean, they beat the living crap out of him with a stick to the point where he was literally crying, crying. And you know what? I think the guy that was filming was like, "Come on, just let him go." I mean, in a way, I think they did justice right there. They provided the justice, so they didn't have to get the cops involved. The guy left, and justice was served. I don't think he'll be robbing anybody soon. If he does, he's a fucking idiot and just deserves to be in jail anyway. But yeah, I just thought that video was pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, another, I like doing movie reviews and talking about movies I've seen. And last night, me and my daughter saw a movie that I thought was pretty good. It was called Pay the Ghost with Nicolas Cage. I never heard of it, and it was actually real good. And it's another one where he loses his kid at a fair or carnival. Like he was just there, and this was more supernatural. And I was telling my daughter last night, man, that reminds me of the time I lost Rocky at a swap meet in California. And it was like that. He was right there 1 second. All of a sudden, I turn around, he's just gone. And at first, I was like, Rocky, I think he's just right in the area. And then I remember when panic actually started to set in, like, oh shit, where is he? I got the security guard, told him what happened. Right away, he got on the radio, called all the other security guards, blocked the exits. And I'm just, I don't know, shit's just running through my mind, but it was so scary. And then he was like, I have an idea, come with me. And I went with them to where it was a spot it was an indoor swap meet where the toys and stuff were at. And sure enough, he was right there. He goes, this happens all the time. This is why I find the kids. And I don't know, just my heart, man. I mean, just thinking about it got to my heart pumping right now. Like feeling of losing a kid like that, where they're there 1 second and then the next second they're gone, and the only thing that's racing through your head is they were kidnapped. And Rocky was a cute baby, so I'm thinking like, man, this kid could be in Mexico already. But yeah, we found him, and I was relieved. I lost Jaden in Fry's Electronics once, but that was only for maybe like 5 minutes. I think I talked about it before. I did a rap verse on my nephew Efren's songs, and he sent it back to me, and I think it came out pretty good. I sent it to a lot of people, and they really loved it. They were saying it brings back flashbacks of old me. Like me, I love comedy rap. I rap, but I gotta have some comedy, or it's just I don't feel it. And then the one thing I forgot to bring up that I thought it was funny that, I still write my lyrics down in a notepad or notebook. And I took it in and he was like, oh man, that's old school. He even came, I was like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, everyone just does it on their phone now. And I was like, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could type up a verse. It's the whole idea of writing it down. You change something, you erase it, you scribble it out, you write a little bit, you change this, you change that. And it's all like fast process in my mind when I'm writing. So I just don't think I could do that, on a phone. But he was telling me that, yeah, everyone does on their phone now. He just thought that was cool that I still brought it in a notebook. And honestly, I have no other way. I don't think I could do it any other way. But anyway, because of that verse and because of the feedback, I think I'm gonna put together an album. And I've already brainstormed, came up with ideas, formats, how I want it. It's pretty much gonna be a timeline of my life. So I mean, it's gonna start off like I want to do a song with Romeo and Derek, with Derek beatboxing, just 80s style, and then just up until now, get a low budget track on there or two. I just have ideas, and I think it'll come together good, and it'll be a good product for to add to my legacy or whatever. And I hope people enjoy it and try to get as many people as I know on there. I already talked to my homeboy Above for an NTS song, get all the NTS guys. And speaking of Above, I was just speaking about that's one thing I've always offered my services to anyone, whether it's advice, whether you need to know something. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge, whether it's about sports cards, comic books. I've had people call me about sports cards, about comic books before. I just have knowledge. And Above called me the other day. We just chatted for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, and just asking me questions. Picking my brain, and I have no problem with that about anything. Someone wants to open a business. He had some business ideas. I know a lot. Use me. I've always said it. I'm just that type of guy. I don't mind spreading whatever knowledge I have on whatever subject. So give a quick shout out to my homie Above from Notorious from NTS. He had some good ideas, and I was happy. I hope I helped you out, brother. He had podcast ideas and just questions. So again, I hope I helped you out. Now I got a few Snapchat send it questions, and here's the thing. Everybody, it seems like, it always wants to know about my love life, or lack thereof, I should say. So after I read a few of these questions, I'm gonna go more into that, my love life. Put it all out there for everyone. So let me get to the send it questions. First one: what's your agenda for the next school board meeting? I really don't have one right now. Maybe as it comes, always a second Tuesday. I hope it's not this Tuesday. That'll be way too quick. But I don't know. I'll probably go talk at it, and I just don't know yet. I had a talk with the football coach, and I told him I'm kind of lay off on the football team a little. Here goes a single. Here goes another one about me being single. I'll read that one. I'll talk about that later. You should review the other restaurants in the Tricom and give us who has the best Mexican food. San Manuel La Casita, Mammoth La Casita, Michoacans, Mi Pueblito, ongoing Maria's in Mammoth, Oracle, Casa Rivera. Is there any debate? Yeah, I'll put it out there right now. Hands down, best breakfast is Casa Rivera in Oracle. I mean, there's no contest. I love huevos rancheros, and oh my gosh, you get the huevos rancheros, half rice, half beans. It's just incredible. I mean, there's no there's no other word for it. Or even the Rudy's burrito special, the breakfast burrito. Their breakfast is hands down the best. They big portions, good price. Now, as to the other ones, I like them all in their own way. Like I said, La Casita here, Salmon Well. No one beats Pete's Chile Rellenos. And just, I don't know. I love going to the different places in Mammoth trying to, that's where I got to go for carne asada. If I want carne asada, I go to Mammoth. If I feel like having a carne asada burrito, Maria's Cafe had good burrito, good price. Las Michoacanes has guacamole salsa on their table. I mean, that's something different than I'll go there just for that if we feel like having it. So, Mi Pueblito, oh my gosh, good food. La Casita Mammoth, good food. I mean, there's really no comparison. They each have their own flavor. And obviously, if a small town like Mammoth has four Mexican restaurants and they're all surviving, obviously each one has something special that people are probably rotating or it's just, I mean, there's just good food for Mammoth. I love going to Mammoth to eat. And again, I love La Casita and San Miguel. So it's just kind of, there's no way of comparing other than me saying hands down Casa Rivera for breakfast. So I hope I answered that. How do you feel about Joe Rogan and his podcast? Have you heard it? Oh yeah, Joe Rogan's incredible. There's two guys that are just great when it comes to doing interviews. Howard Stern by far is the best, and Joe Rogan. He just has good guests and he asks the right questions. But yeah, Howard Stern, if you, I don't know, some people don't like. I don't care if you don't like him or not. He's just one of the best. When it comes to me doing this, I always wanted my own radio show, and Howard Stern was someone I looked up to in that sense. He could get people to talk about shit they didn't even want to talk about. You know, I mean, he just asked the right questions, and Joe Rogan's like that too. So yeah, I like both shows. What's the latest deal with the school? Anything new? Not really. I mean, other than no, I mean, I think you're asking about controversy right now. No controversy as far as other than the summer school having from what I hear was shut down by the board of health because of the water issues. I'm assuming they got that fixed if school's starting. So other than that, I really have nothing. Thank you for the question. What are your thoughts on the superintendent Julie Dale Scott also becoming principal of Samuel High School? I don't know. I don't know if it's a conflict of interest because when you have to complain about the principal, you go to the superintendent. Now, if you're both, you know what I mean? That's where I'm like conflicts of interest, but I don't know. I just have to see how the year goes. I mean, as long as the school's running like a well-oiled machine, I have no complaints, honestly. I don't complain just to complain to hear my voice. Thank you for that question. What did you dream about last night? You know what? I don't even dream. I don't have time. I usually get 4 to 5 hours sleep a night, and I don't even have time to dream. Here's the one I showed my kids. Who's your favorite kid and why? And I have Mr. Curry Andrade right here next to me with open ears, open eyes, wanting me to answer this question. So since she's here, I'm going to say she's my favorite kid.
Knew it.
Why? Because she's standing right next to me. If I say something wrong, she might smack. But I love all my kids equally.
Okay.
She might just be a little bit because she's the youngest. So I mean, I spend more time with her. Think about it. As the kids got older, they didn't want to come to shop with their dad. You know what I mean? But she still wants to come with me every day. We walk to the store. She holds my hand. None of the other kids want to hold my hand anymore. I try to hold Jada's hand. What are you doing, fag? You know, I try to hold Rocky's hand as we walk. What the fuck you doing? You know what I mean? So she's my baby girl. So I'll say she's my favorite. Thank you for the question. Okay, and that's it for the questions. Now I'm gonna get on the subject of dating here. Here's the thing. Yeah, people always want to know who do I like? Who do I like? Well, my old crush that one's done already. I mean, it's like I see her a lot now recently, and there's nothing there no more. As of crushes, I mean, obviously there's a few I like, a few girls I like. If you were to ask me 2 weeks ago, I'd say there was 3 girls, say in the top three that I find attractive that I like that I wouldn't mind going out with. One I could eliminate because just problems. I don't need problems in my life. Just too much problems in her life going on. And then let's see if if I narrow it down to two. But here's the thing. Just because I like someone doesn't mean they're going to like me back. Two, when you're single for as long as I have, you love your freedom. Like me, I love you have no idea. I could get up, do what I want, go where I want. If I want to get the kids up, like let's go to Disneyland tomorrow and I have the funds, let's go. If I say let's go, we're going away for the weekend, I just go. I don't have to answer to no one. Now, you don't understand. When you start dating now, there's someone else involved in your life. You got to give them your time. You got to give them, you know what I mean? You got to put in effort because at my age, let's face it, I'm not dating for fun. If I date someone, obviously the goal is for marriage, to be together till death do us part. So if I was to date someone, it's got to be the real deal. Like I said, I'm going to use my friend as example. She's recently single, and I've been talking to her. And she just tells me the craziness of what it's like to be single in 2023. And I could say it at my perspective from a male and her perspective as a female. And it's just crazy. Like I said, me personally, I just love my freedom. If I do get in a relationship with anyone it's gonna have to be slow because I gotta start getting into the use of texting more. Hey, good morning. So what do you plan on doing today? Oh, I'm gonna do this. Okay. Do you want to meet up for lunch? Or okay, what time do you go to work? All right, well, I'll go see you for a few minutes before you leave to work. You know what I mean? So it's just something. It's just something I would have to get used to again. Not saying I can't or I won't. It's just you don't understand how hard it is when you're just used to your freedom. Now back to my friend. And here's the funny thing. I talked to her last night. A lot of the questions I'm getting are like, why don't you talk to so and so? Man, you and so and so will make a good couple. And this is the friend I'm talking about. She's recently single. I've been single. It's easy to say, oh, why don't you talk to so and so? Like, what if so and so don't want to talk to me? You know what I mean? But I've been talking to her, and she tells me just how weird it is. The messages she gets, the the weirdos that DM her, the married guys, the guys with girlfriends, the unsolicited dick pics she gets. And I even told her, like, I didn't even think that shit was real. I didn't think that was a real thing, but I guess it is. Other females tell me, yeah, it's real. They get it. I'm like, that is so. You understand how weird that is to me? For one, I would never even want to take a picture of my junk. And for two, I'd be too embarrassed to send it to anyone. Like, I don't know. To me, that's just weird. And I was laughing because I tell her, like, a lot of the stuff, like, she posts a lot of memes. Some of them are funny, some of them are like, wow, that's real. And she was saying, like, yeah, all of them are pretty much her life, the weirdo she gets in her inbox. Like I said, it's just weird trying to date in 2023. So this is one of them. One of the things she pushed, like, I'd be flirty until I get asked, when can I see you? Now I gotta act dead. And then the other one, the big Bob Marley, is a quote from Bob Marley. The biggest coward is a man who awakens a woman's love with no intention of loving her. And that's my fear too, of why I don't really get serious with a woman or try to, because what if feelings do arise? Like, let's say I talk to any female and it gets to a point where, like, well, we're getting along good, and then I'm like, uh-oh, I might be almost at the point of no return. Like, if we go on 1 or 2 more days and we start making it official, then am I in a relationship now? And it just gets, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And here's another scary one she put. If we're dating, no one should have the same access to you like I do. And that just goes to what I'm saying. That's real. Like, once you start dating someone, it's like, you know what I mean? You're part, I know you guys know what I mean. At the same time, it's hard for me to explain, but once you start dating someone, like, time is everything. If you can't give someone your time, it's not going to work out. Time, trust, that's all part of being in a relationship. So I don't know if I'm ready for that. Here it goes. This is one that's funny. I got trust issues because people in happy relationships be texting me. And that's what she was telling me. She gets all these people that she knows that are dating someone else and hitting her up. So yeah, it's just, it's hard to try to date in 2023. I'm just going to leave it at that. And with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I want to give a shout out to all the new listeners. Looks like my podcast is slowly starting to take off. I got a lot of new listeners. I'm easy to talk to. Drop me a message. If you want me to give a shout out to someone for you, you know how to get a hold of me. So with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Burn one. Yo. Slow budget. Once again.